Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks. I'm Roger Wakefield. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's good to have you here. If this is your first time here, if you found this replay, look, we go live every day, every weekday at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time here on YouTube. So if you've got questions, you really need to jump over onto YouTube, find the Trade Talks. Like I said, we go live every day at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. I recommend after you subscribe, hit that ring bell. That way you get notified every time we go live. And we do it every day. And we're talking to many sponsors right now, bringing sponsors in and doing some really cool stuff. So what I would say to you is hit that bell, get notified, and come in and say hello. If you've got questions, comments, anything, please put them in there. Love to hear from you. If you've got a question, put a big Q in front of it. As you see, I'm here by myself today. Squirt is out doing a training, and then he will be back in here with me tomorrow. And he said that he may try to sneak in here today, just in case he can. He's doing a Leak Pro training, and we were out there with Low Plumbing out of just outside of Tulsa yesterday. Brent's up here. Man, kid picked this stuff up really, really good. So if you're thinking about growing your business, let me tell you about our sponsor, Leak Pro. Leak Pro sponsors this live stream. If you want to grow your business or if you want to grow your skills as a plumber, think about Leak Pro. It is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. I found this product I found it 6 years ago, about this week. I was in San Diego with my stepson. We were at a social media marketing event. There was supposed to be things on Friday. Friday didn't happen. Him and I rented a convertible, drove down to San Diego to meet some friends of mine and to talk to them. And they were happening to meet at a hardware store where they were going to talk to this guy that manufactured leak detection equipment. I found Leak Pro, played with it, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this. So anyway, Leak Pro, we acquired the company. It's phenomenal. Randy's out there doing training on it today. If you want to learn more about Leak Pro, go to www.leak-pro.com. And if you're interested in the training, I highly recommend giving Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Now we're going to jump in to the national news. And this is a surprise. When I saw this morning, it really blew my mind. Somebody invited me to be a co-host, but no, thank you. Guys, I only bring in people I know. I'm sorry about that. So the national news, U.S. construction spending dips for the first time in 8 months. Man, this is crazy. Because every city I travel in, I'm always looking for the big construction cranes. I'm looking for all the new office work going on. I'm looking at everything. And to get in there and to see it and then read this, it blows my mind. But it says January 2025, construction spending fell by 2%. Actually, sorry, 0.2%. So it didn't drop much, but it ended an 8-month growth streak. So we're in February. So somewhere around August, right before the election, it started growing. Multifamily housing projects dropped 1.1%, while single-family home construction remained stable. So, look, you can always tell what cities are growing by the ones that are building more houses or more offices, and it is what it is. Commercial and industrial construction spending saw a 1.3% increase. So if you look at that, it says total construction spending fell by 0.2%. Multifamily projects dropped 1.1. Okay. Commercial and industrial saw 1.3 increase, and residential about the same. So, okay, that makes sense. And the commercial and industrial saw increase driven by warehouse and data center expansions. Data centers are big. And it's funny because I was at RISCON last November. Great event. Got to speak at it. If you want to find out about a new AI that is amazing, go to Ask ROI. It's great stuff. It's a closed AI system. So all your information isn't out there for everybody else to see. And I think that part is wonderful. Fix one thing right over here. But speaking at this event, Todd Alt, the guy who runs this event, had Kristi Noem, the now Secretary of Homeland Security, phenomenal person. She made a plumbing video. If you want to see something cool and you want to see how cool our Secretary of Homeland Security is, go check out that video. Search Kristi Noem plumbing video. But when I was at this, he invests in data centers and she's helping set up nuclear power for these things. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. But key factors behind the dip in construction: high mortgage rates, slowing multifamily developments. Nobody wants to build when interest rates are high. Lumber and drywall prices rising due to potential tariffs. That started happening here in the last month. Strong demand for industrial projects boosting commercial sector spending. Look, industrial guys, we keep manufacturing and we keep growing. So that makes perfect sense. Now, we're going to talk about website review. And today, Randy picked finehomebuilding.com. Now, Fine Home Building is a trusted industry resource offering expert construction knowledge for builders, remodelers, and tradespeople. I love websites like this. To be able to see, I love that. Make plumbing beautiful again. Jamie, thank you so much. I love having you in here. I do appreciate it. And Jamie, if we're not connected on Facebook, connect with me. It's Roger Wakefield. It's not very hard to find. All of you. So key features and step-by-step guides on framing, HVAC, roofing, and finish work. Now, I love this because we're getting ready to build an event center. So looking at channels like this, watching them, seeing what they do, how they do it, it gives me great ideas. Detailed tool reviews and best practices. It's kind of hard for me to review tools because, and I'll tell y'all, we're going to start doing Milwaukee Monday. We've got a lot of stuff going there and a lot of amazing ideas, but I love this because it's hard for me to review any other tool because Milwaukee's the best that there is. And I love playing with the Milwaukee tools. I love getting new tools. I want the complete mechanic set. I want the complete landscape set. I get excited about this, but it's neat stuff. But it's hard for me to review other tools because I think Milwaukee's amazing, and just anything else, I look at it and I hadn't found much that keeps up with it. And then business advice for trades professionals, including pricing and estimating. And guys, this is a big thing because a lot of people, and y'all know, I teach people how to get in the trades. I teach them how to become better tradesmen. I teach them how to start and run their own business. And I teach them how to use networking, social media, and SEO to grow those businesses. So here's the thing. I love hearing what other people say too. So anybody that has business advice for trades professionals, I think it's great because most people, most plumbers, I'm going to say this, when they start their own company, they're literally like, look, I don't know how to price my work. And they end up underpricing it. Most people that start their own company set their price so low that they're going to lose money. They're going to go they're going to go broke. And I hate that. Jamie says, I have a thing for Milwaukee and Klein tools. You know, I would love to have a good contact at Klein because I've always thought electricians just had amazing tools. So I'm good with that. Me too. I really do. I like Klein. I used to love having a Klein tool bag. It was great. And Jamie says, JB is here in Aurora, Illinois. Cool. Now, pricing and estimating, though, that's one thing that most people come to me and are like, Roger, I don't know how to do this. And if you don't know how to price, if you don't know how to estimate, you don't know how to make money, you've got to know that pricing is what sets you apart because it's it sets you apart from either making money or going broke. And most people don't know how to set pricing. So that's why I'm ready to get the event center going here, because when we get the event center going and start inviting tradespeople out, I want to do training for people like that. I want to be able to bring people in and teach them how to do great stuff. So I recommend following channels like this, finehomebuilding.com, because unlike manufacturer back sites, it provides a real world field tested advice from experienced builders. Now, I do some manufactured stuff because, you know, when I do sponsored videos, guys, they're paying me to talk about their product. But I'm very picky about the people I work with. I don't talk about just any product. So, you know, I love that some people are just like, hey, look, no manufacturer back anything going on. Great resource for training apprentices and improving craftsmanship. And I got to tell you this, I was at Tradewinds up in Kansas City, Missouri, Saturday, flew in Friday, spent some amazing time Friday, Saturday, and Saturday evening with a bunch of plumbers up there. And it was neat getting to talk to them, because a lot of these plumbers are like, Roger, look, I learned to do plumbing from watching your videos. I learned to do this. I learned to do this. So to be able to be there with them and hear those stories, some of these guys were instructors and they're like, look, I use your videos. It's really cool. It's fun to get to do stuff like that. So I love that. But how can tradespeople benefit from using Fine Home Building? It offers technical guidance, helping pros refine their skills, learn new techniques, and stay ahead of industry trends. Anytime you can learn something new, it's worth watching a channel. It's worth watching a video. And I love what Warren Buffett says. He says, look, I don't read more books so that I know everything about everything. I read more books so there's less out there that I don't know anything about. So think about that as a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC tech, or a roofer. These are the things that we need to be doing, learning and growing from new people. If you keep learning the exact same thing over and over again from the same people, you're not really going to grow much. So let's move into business growth. How tradespeople can add recurring revenue streams. And guys, recurring monthly revenue, if you can figure that out, that can keep your company going when a lot of other companies are having problems. I was never good at that. When we had our company, I was not good at getting my guys to sell the memberships and do stuff like that. But I want to talk about it because most tradespeople operate on on-time jobs, meaning you go out, you do your job, you get paid. It's a one-time job. You're in, you're on time, you show up, you do the work, you leave, you get paid. But adding recurring revenue services can stabilize income and increase profits. And there are ways to do that. But think about that. You can create recurring revenue streams, and memberships are the greatest way to do it. Service agreements. HVAC, let's start with that. HVAC service agreements offer monthly maintenance plans and seasonal checkups. So your monthly maintenance plan, you're not going to need to go out there every month. But if you look at the seasonal checkups, that's where you're going to make your money. If I was an HVAC company, probably March, April, I start going out and doing all my air conditioning tune-ups. Then, I mean, we're talking March, April, now October, September. Once it starts warming up a little bit or cooling down a little bit, now you go in and start doing your heat checkups. Guys, you're in people's houses twice a year. Don't you think if you're there twice a year and you've been taking good care of them, when it's time to replace that unit, they're just going to tell you, look, if it's time, let's just do it. You're going to give them a price. You're going to make it work. But HVAC, those are the easiest to sell because when people have problems, they want to call you immediately. And that's one thing that we used to do is if you have a maintenance agreement, when you call in, you go to the top of the list. You get to get called first. Plumbing inspections, annual pipe camera inspections to catch leaks before they become major issues. You know, imagine If you got to go in people's house or people's houses once or twice a year, do a complete plumbing inspection, maybe run a camera down the drain if they've had a problem, or maybe just once a year, once a year you come out and run a camera through the drain. Once a year you come in and do a 360-degree inspection. Doing things like this can help you find problems before they become major issues. And the good thing about it is if they've got a 6-year water heater and say you're at 5 years, now you can start telling them, hey, in a year, it's going to be time that we start recommending that you replace that water heater. You've got a 6-year water heater. You've got a 6-year warranty on it. It's still performing fine. We've been flushing it. We've been doing this, whatever it is. But you being in there every year and letting them know, hey, it's coming up. Go ahead and start saving up some money. Now, even if they can only save up a couple of grand, you say, okay, well, the water heater you want is 5. You're putting down 2. Now we can finance this other 3 grand for 6 months interest free. So it's $500 a month. Or we could do it for a year at about, God, 3 grand, probably $250, $300 a month. Not a bad deal. Electrician smart home maintenance. And I love the smart home maintenance idea. Subscription-based circuit and breaker panel checks for safety. And anything that they have as an electrician, if they've got a washer and dryer that connects to Wi-Fi, look that up for them. Make sure their whole house is set up. And when you're the guy that does that, you're bringing them so much value, they're never going to leave you. So think about that. It's wonderful. And we're going to move into service work while we're talking to electricians, because think about the growing demand for EV charging stations. And I mean, I was looking at a Tesla at one point, and I literally thought, man, I wonder what it's going to cost me to get a charging station installed. Guys, they're not cheap. And to be able to be that electrical company that's like, yeah, we come out and we install these all day, every day, that is a good thing. And looking at solar, looking at different things, guys, it's just, if you're not looking at stuff like this, that there's going to be a big problem because you're going to get covered up. Jamie Cover says tool manufacturers have programs, tools for schools. Yes, they do. I have seen Milwaukee give away, God, tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tools to schools. I think it's great. And yeah, you're getting me at someone at Klein. Girl, I love that. And you said we're connected on LinkedIn. Either if we're connected here, Facebook, wherever, send me a message. I'd like to talk to you about who you have at Klein. Thank you, Jamie. Okay, but think about this. The EV electric vehicle industry is booming. The demand for home and commercial charging stations is going up, especially for lead projects. Many residential electricians are pivoting to installing level 2 chargers in garages and commercial parking lots. Now, I don't understand what level 2, level 1, I don't understand all that. But guys, anybody wanting an electric vehicle, this is the way they're going to go. Federal tax credits and state incentives are driving installations. Homeowners upgrading panels to accommodate the EV chargers, and businesses adding fleet chargers for electric work trucks and delivery vans. Guys, it's going to keep growing. You've heard me and Randy talking about it. If you're buying or leasing vehicles right now, do you want to go electric? Do you want to go hybrid? And right now, if you travel all around the Metroplex every day, electric may not be the way to go because you may not be able to get enough miles in. But think about it. If the guys have a charger at work and say they're traveling half the day and can come back to the office and charge while they eat lunch, while they restock, do something like that, that could be a great deal. Anything that you can do to help you get into stuff like that. And, you know, I know that we're talking about EV chargers, but solar panels, wind turbines, inverters, the battery systems. I mean, we need more people that can install this stuff. I want to put solar in at my house. I want to put solar in out here. It was great being at AHR, WET, and KBIZ, because getting to come in and do stuff like this or see stuff like this, there's things out there that I didn't even know was here. And it's crazy. Okay, Jimmy, it looks like you've shown me your business page in here. Thank you so much. Oh, Ends Plumber's Corner, Jetter. There you go. I'll have to go in and find that. So thank you. But here's the deal. How can electricians capitalize on the EV charging boom? Here's the thing. Get certified for EV charger installations. If you're an electrician yourself and your company's not doing it, I would figure out how to learn how to do it yourself, because I think these are just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and we're going to be asked to install more and more of them each and every year. Partner with auto dealerships. Imagine if you went and teamed up with a local Tesla and said, hey, I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm going to come by, take you out to lunch once a week. Anybody that you have that bought an electric vehicle that week, I would love to get their information so that I can talk to them. Man, even if it's 2 or 3 a week, that could change your revenue, your bottom line forever. And then the last part is offer full service panel upgrades. And I need somebody to call security. I got people breaking in here, and man, this is kind of nuts.
What's going on in here?
How we doing?
Lovely.
And really, Colton, there may not be a whole lot to change on the 1 and 4, but the rest of it, as y'all see, man, trouble has walked in the building.
I'm here.
I see that. And I don't know how to go in and add your name to the deal. I'm sure Colton.
Oh, it's okay. I thought I'll be here about 15 minutes.
We know who you are, don't
I'll
we?
pop back out.
We know who you are. Matt McDonough says, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, what's up, brother? How are you doing? I am doing fantastic. Good to see you in here. You still in Vegas, brother? I'm trying to think when I go to Vegas again, but I think I've got a trip coming up. So anyway, that's it on the electrical. But guys, if you're an electrician and you can get into EV, it's not a bad thing to do. Now we're going to talk about MET, Materials, Equipment, and Technology. And what did you find here on self-leveling concrete?
Bro, self-leveling concrete, they're starting to use
cool.
it more. Like,
I love it.
it takes less finish work. And what's the main thing that you see on concrete jobs? Bunch of guys sitting around waiting for concrete to dry so they can finish it. This stuff, self-leveling concrete, is being used more frequently for commercial floors, warehouse slabs, and residential remodels. I dig this. I mean, not big on.
I'm gonna go stop this.
Not big on doing concrete, but self-leveling concrete, now that's something I can get behind. I can probably handle that on my own. Unlike traditional concrete, it spreads and smooths itself out, requiring less manual finishing. Guys, everything that we're coming up with in this modern world makes things easier for us to do, such as self-leveling concrete. We can pour it in the hole and it's going to take care of itself. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I want to learn more about it because, like you said, just being able to pour it in the hole. We're good at backfilling our holes and stuff like that. Well, sometimes. Some plumbers are. Some are like, let the dig crew do it. But the cool thing about it is that if we can just fill it up to 4 inches from the bottom, 5 inches or 6 inches, depending on the thickness of the slab, pack that thing down really good. Man, I would have no problem buying a portable concrete mixer, dump the bags in there, pour it in there, level it off, and say, we're good. We're out of here. Thank you very much. Let that cure up.
That's it. Some of the advantages here: speeds up installation. It dries within 24 hours. That's pretty awesome.
That's neat.
You know, because I've seen a bunch. Look, you can't be on there for 72 hours bare minimum. Like, period. Don't step foot on it. It's like, dude, like, I've got work to do. Like, we got to get this thing going. How do you speed this up? Something like this can help. Supposedly, it's stronger and more crack resistant than regular concrete. And that's a huge advantage.
We looked at our pad just
yesterday.
Poured this thing less than a year ago.
Yep.
And it's already cracking.
Got a good crack going through it. This is ideal for renovations and fixing uneven surfaces. It self-levels. It's going to help balance that out. Now, my curiosity is what happens when you do have to slope some concrete for a reason.
Probably don't want self-leveling concrete.
You probably don't want self-leveling concrete. You're probably going to have to do something for the other layer, for that top layer to be able to slope it the way you want so that it actually sits
And
proper.
you know what? And I'll say something about that. I'm glad that we did slope our pad because we had a heck of a rainstorm this morning.
Big time.
I mean, I looked out my window and I thought, man, we may not get into the office because our road tends to flood. We're out in the country now. How y'all doing? It's kind of funny though, because I walked on the pad and I don't think you squeegeed it off, did you?
I didn't.
Yeah,
Nope.
it looked good.
It stays pretty dry. There's a few little wet spots. Nothing major. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing we can't live
Nothing to worry about. That's it.
without.
And yeah, Matt, I've been out there doing training the last 2 days. I've got a guy out there right now doing leak detection training. I put him on the deep one. I said, "Here, bud.
This one's gonna take you.
I'm gonna go hop in the live for about 15 minutes. I'll come back out and check on you at that point. This one's gonna take a little time though. It's deep. It's long. It's the longest line I've got. So it takes some time. So."
And brother, it's good to see you. We're doing great. You are still in Vegas holding the fort down. Next week in Phoenix, Salt Lake might be on the list. Then Chino, California at the end of April. We fly to Vegas
End of this month,
into March.
last week. Yep.
Yeah, the last week, like the 25th, 6th, or 7th, around in there. And then Randy flies home from there, and I fly over to San Diego for Social Media Marketing World. So I'll text you before we get into town. You may want to. Matt, do you ever go to El Segundo Sol? I'm not sure if we've ever even asked you that. Do you like Mexican food? Have you been to El Segundo Sol? Okay, so Randy, what are the disadvantages of the self-leveling?
So some of the different, it's going to be a higher material cost than regular concrete. Now, for us that doesn't really deal with concrete, no problem. I'm happy to do that. Requires precise water mixing to avoid the cracking. So the ratios have to be spot on for what you're doing.
And that's going to affect your PSI too. If you get 3,000 PSI, 4,000 PSI, whatever it's made in, if you water it down too much, you'll mess that up. That's why it worries about the cracking.
Yep. And it says that this is not ideal for outdoor use in extreme weather conditions.
Now, what do they call extreme? Is it extreme cold? Is it extreme heat? Is it extreme moisture? Is it extreme dry? Oh, God. See, that takes me back. And I had this conversation about a water heater manufacturer that I went and toured their plant. And yeah, I have got it, brother. Matter of fact, Colton sent it to me too, and I saw it too. So I'll message you. Went to a plant, water heater manufacturer plant, and I've been to a few of them, y'all. And I'm walking one, and they said, "Well, this is where we test them, and if the incoming water is good water, that this is what you can expect." It's like, well, what's good water? And they said, well, good water. I said, if bad water comes in, I said, okay, then what's bad water? And this engineer did not know. I'm like, dude, you're pissing me off. And I'm sorry, but that's me. If you're going to tell me don't put bad water in it, you better be able to define bad water.
Yep.
I want to know.
Yep.
Because if you tell me that, okay, I need a pre-filter, I need a sediment filter, I need to pull chlorine out, I need to pull calcium and magnesium out. What is good water? And this engineer had no idea. And I'm like, dude, then don't you ever use that word. Because if you don't know how to tell somebody what it is, that it's a problem. And I did. I twisted off on him. Didn't like it very much. So let's do this. You're working today.
I am.
Tell me all about League Pro,
Man,
our sponsor.
So, we want to thank League Pro for sponsoring this video. Lets me and this guy typically come in here for a full hour Monday through Fridays. I'm out doing a training right now for League Pro guys. I build the best leak detection system for professional plumbers. And I'm out there training a plumber right now. He came in, got the equipment, didn't know a whole lot about leak detection, does it some with a stethoscope and a tube, drills holes in concrete to try to listen under, do different things like that. He's been mind blown at the equipment. He's like, this is cool. This is going to be fun to use. And he's starting to learn how it all works and that process that you work through. I build two different pieces of equipment. I build a probe, which is more for your meter to your home service. I build a sidekick, which is what you want to use when you go in and you're trying to listen through a slab or just going into the home period, being able to reach in the cabinets, things like that. If you want to check out the equipment, you can visit www.leak-pro.com, or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. But also, like I've got going right now, I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. So if you don't know anything about how to do it, give me a call. Let's talk about it, because I can teach you exactly how to do it, and you'll leave here with the confidence knowing how to locate lines, pinpoint locate leaks under a slab, outside of a slab. You'll also be able to isolate sewer lines from the double clean out outside to isolate branch lines under a home to determine exactly where the sewer lines are.
Okay, and this is something a lot of plumbers don't know how to do. What we do here is we've got a system built to where we can teach you to isolate lines under a slab. So from your two-way clean out end, the lines go out and they go different ways. And we teach people how to isolate different lines to test where the leaks are located. And you showed him this morning how to do it.
Yep.
On cast iron, which is the hardest. How long did it take you to do that first?
A few minutes. I mean,
once you got the balls in place.
Once I got everything in place, about 2 minutes.
Okay.
2, maybe 3.
And then you pulled it back out. You let him do it. He probably did it in under 5.
Yep.
Took everything, moved it down to the next fitting, just like you would in a house to take that. You test that line, say, nope, that line's good. You move to the next one, test it. Probably another 4 or 5 minutes for him the first time doing is to test 2 branches, isolate 2 branches under 10 minutes.
Yep.
And he said, I would have never imagined doing this or that it was even possible. And when we show him, I'm going to call it our proprietary technique, it's like, man, this works. So look, we love Leak Pro. That's why we acquired the company. If you're interested in learning more about it, go to www.leak-pro.com. If you're interested in the training, and guys, if you buy that complete kit, you want the training, because to get in here and learn not just how to use everything in the kit, but how to isolate sewer lines, both cast iron and PVC, how to do the marketing, what words to use, how to set your Google business page up where it talks about this too. You want to do that because it's going to help your business grow a lot. All right. And we're going to pretty much skip this one, aren't we? No, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, MEP, the push for smart thermostats in commercial buildings. Commercial buildings, and I love the idea of smart thermostats in them, because instead you've got a box that somebody turns up, or a thermostat somebody turns up. They put this big plastic box around it where nobody can get in it, and you have no controls. Very smart idea is a smart thermostat that can adjust, because as more and more people come in a room, sometimes it needs to fluctuate.
Yes.
It needs to do some different things. But it's an easy upsell, because you can teach people, look, y'all can program this at night when there's nobody here. In the wintertime, maybe it warms up to 80 degrees. It doesn't need to be cold in there. It doesn't need to be cool. It doesn't need to be 70. You say, hey, let it kick up to 80. Let the units stop running for 6 or 8 hours a night. And if the building opens at 6, great. It kicks on at 5 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, when people start walking in, it's 70 degrees. It feels good, like it should. Not a bad deal.
No.
Easy upsell, long-term service contracts. That's like, look, we just need to come in, check them, test them, make sure everything's good. And then it lowers energy costs for the building owners. That makes it amazing. I'm going to jump over to comments. Matt says, I'm interested in learning and maybe you putting me to work. Matt, I know of a plumbing company in Dallas right now looking for a service manager. Just going to throw that out there. Denver Charboy, brother, ain't seen you in a while. How you doing? Says been off work for 2 days. Found out I might have Crohn's disease. Brother, the good thing is you can get in and get it checked. I know people that have had Crohn's disease and they operate like normal. Some people you would never even know it. So don't be, brother. You just get in, talk to your doctors. I've got a holistic doctor here in the Garland area. I think he just talks to God. I think he goes back there, makes a phone call. God says, hey, here's what's wrong. And he is amazing. So definitely worth talking to. You might see if you have a holistic doctor or a functional doctor in your area. Very sad and depressed as I've been in so much pain, brother. I get it. It's something you can get under control though. In Denver, also, I've got a book at home that I read a lot or pull out for different things. prescriptions for natural healing. It tells you what vitamins, minerals, herbs, supplements to take for different things. And I love that because it's all natural. So something worth talking about. Now, that says nowadays a BMS, building management system, is common for standard thermostats. Yeah, to use them from your phone. You know, me and Randy were talking about it the other day. I can pull up my home. And I mean, man, here lately, I'm out of town 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't need that air conditioner running all day, every day.
Well, then here, our weather fluctuates so quick and so dramatic that you do need to be able to have that adjustment when you're out of town for 2 weeks, because it's like, oh, it's freezing this week, but yeah, it's 60 all next week and back to norm. So you've got to be able to make that adjustment on your thermostats
Oh,
so that you're
man.
not wasting extra energy.
I need to talk. I just,
Mowing, he's got an
Mowing,
idea.
mowing, baby, we need to talk. I just had a brainstormer of an idea. That's a good one too, I'm telling you. Where's the work at?
High-end kitchen remodels.
And I
are
want this
booming.
done. I want to do mine at home. I've wanted to do it. I've had my kitchen for 24 years,
Yeah.
almost as long as you've been alive.
Well, I think they planned a video on Squirt's kitchen.
Oh, is that what, is that
remodel.
what
I
it
think
is? Is that what it is?
so.
Yours is first?
Well, I guess
Wait
we'll
a
slap
minute.
yours in
Wait a
somewhere, but it's
minute,
already
boy.
planned.
But mine's already planned.
But
I love this.
me too. Like, there's so many different things coming out. Like, we've been at trade shows and stuff and seen all the new faucets, the pot fillers, the different things that you can add into your kitchen. Some of the sinks, like our big, deep country sink that we've got here, I love it. Kind of jealous
Why do you think
at
we
the
put it
house
in?
because it's just I just got the little shallow two-sided normal
You know we've got
kitchen
another
sink.
one or two of those back there. somewhere.
And well, I think I turned one into a blast chamber.
The blast chamber was custom built. I had that built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
we've got
tub?
another deep
Okay.
stainless sink
All right,
somewhere. I
well,
promise.
we will find it.
It may be in my garage. But we do.
But the new things that are coming out is so nice. Upgrade your kitchen. I like to cook. I cook a lot
Where'd you learn that
from all of my family. Okay. Not just you.
Hey,
I was that kid in grandma's kitchen going, can I help grandma? I want to know how to do that.
yeah, all the grandmas.
All the grandmas too. And I had a lot of them. So it was great. But I do. I love to cook. So kitchen remodels is a huge thing going on right now. And that's where a lot of work is. And
I love
that's
it.
plumbers, electricians, tile guys, just all sorts of stuff.
I like it that they've got new products that are replacing the marble, replacing granite.
Mhm.
It's the quartz and the Decton. Hidden cabinet storage, smart appliances. I love those corner cabinets. It looks like there's two cabinets doors, and you grab it and it spins around, and there's this whole big round shelf that comes out. It is freaking cool. That's neat stuff.
It is. Touchless faucets.
Hey, my sister's got them. Now, hers, I like the touch faucet because literally
Where
you
you
just
have
leave
to
it on,
touch?
you touch it, it's on, you touch it, it goes off. Sometimes those sensors, look, I'm in airports every day now, I think. They don't always work, and I get
That's
frustrated
true.
with it.
Well,
Hey,
hopefully
I'm gonna
in
start
your
making
home, you're going
videos
to keep
about
your
that.
sensor working.
I'm gonna
okay?
I'm gonna start making videos about that. Hey, here I am with a Gerber Valley faucet not working again. Yeah, guys, this is frustrating. Hey, Seattle Airport, fix this stuff. Yeah, I love it. Okay, this is one of your favorites. We talk about kitchen and bathroom models all the time.
Mhm.
That is the easiest way to improve the value of a house. And I know you're
100%.
talking kitchens.
Yep.
If you remodeled your shower right now, what all would you do to
It's going to be a spa.
it?
It's going to be able to give me a body massage every day when
Yeah.
I step into it. Why not?
Yep.
Like, met a guy and, he says, look, one of the biggest investments he makes is his bed. He said, yeah, my home's a lot. I spend a lot of money on my bed. I spend a lot of time sleeping in my bed. I want a good bed. Guess what? I shower every day. I spend a lot of time in my shower.
You bet.
I want to invest in my shower and make it a spa feel every day. Why not? Make that resort kitchen, bathroom in your home because it's your home. It's where you live every day. But the best part, it increases your resale value.
Guys, think about that. If I remodeled my bathroom the way I want to the way I want to remodel it, if I put my house up for sale, the first lady that walks in that bathroom is going to be like, "Honey, we're buying this house."
I don't care what the price is.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
this.
I didn't even ask about the price. You see that bathroom? That's my bathroom. That's my bathroom, baby. Yeah, that's the kind of bathroom you want to build because that becomes a game changer.
Mhm.
All right, let's go down to instructor training because trade schools are adapting new technology. And me and Randy talk about this all the time. And I'm going to climb up on a soapbox for a minute because I don't see why it should still take 8,000 hours of training to become a plumber.
Yep.
I don't. I mean, you know what I want to figure out? And this is a task for me and you. When a doctor and a lawyer go to school, how many actual hours are they training to be a doctor or lawyer?
Yeah, I like that.
Not philosophy,
Yeah,
not
your
history.
residency.
Yeah,
Actually doing things. Yes,
bet.
gotcha.
You bet.
Yep.
You bet. Because I
Okay.
mean, to me, guys, for a young person getting in the trades, say Denver, say Denver's wanting to come be a plumber in Texas, he's got to put in 8,000 hours as an apprentice to get his journeyman, another 8,000 hours as a journeyman to get his master's. Guys, that's 8 long years. And I'm thinking, okay, doctors and lawyers go to school for 8 years, but they're not training to be a doctor and lawyer all day, every day.
Nope.
Man, I want to do research on that. Go ahead. Talk for a second. I'm gonna make myself some notes, y'all.
No, I like that. But a lot of vocational schools are modernizing by incorporating virtual reality training, online certification courses, and on-site apprenticeships. And guys, this is huge, especially for upcomers. We like to learn some things in a classroom, yes, but most things we want hands-on. You know, I came up in the union. We had trade school there. I was in a weld booth at least one night a week for 4 years, I feel like, because for that welding, that repetition, you need that hands-on muscle memory. You can do a lot of it now with VR, which is great because it's going to save on the materials, things like that, scrap. You're not having to shut down at night so that you can go cut all the pieces for the whole class to be able to use so that everybody can actually sit there and weld. But you're still going to want some hands-on. You're going to want to feel that fire bouncing off of you because you need to know what that feels like for sure. So that first weld you really go to do, you're not jumping around because, oh, I'm getting burned.
It's like, oh, I got to burn. Yeah, you're going to.
So
just keep going.
There's some of those things that aren't going to be replaced by any of this VR stuff because we do have to have that hands-on, that real world feel. And that's one thing that I like about trade schools where you work in the field and you learn some in the classroom or in a set environment, something like that, or through these VRs. And online training is great, you know, and that's why we feel that hours should probably be able to come down because knowledge is so accessible nowadays, and especially with a lot of these online courses.
Mhm.
You can run through so many scenarios quickly, have video visuals for them to actually see. The hands-on portion, I understand we still need some hours for that specifically.
And we'll get back to welders in a minute. I want to jump in some comments here just for a second. Yeah, Matt's talking about that corner unit I talked about. He says it's like a lazy Susan, make storage awesome again. I love it. Denver says that's a good point. Oh, now Denver had a message here. I thought, maybe I'll see it. Okay, Matthew says hot and cold. I remember when you guys had the great freeze. Weather's all over the place. Yes, it is. Here you go, Denver. Says Roger, how did you handle people taking time off work if they were diagnosed with Crohn's? I never had anybody that worked for me diagnosed with Crohn's. But when people get sick, we allowed them time off. We just, I think every company that I've worked for has been that way. That's a good point. Also, doctors have to use their hands too. They do. Maria, 28, says it takes 10 years of working on the job to really know what you're doing. Maria, I'm not going to disagree with you there. But I truthfully think as a residential plumbing company owner, if I've got somebody as sharp as Randy, I can bring him in a year. I'm going to say in a good year, I could train him well enough to go into a house to repair toilets, unstop drains, change out garbage disposals and faucets. I've got trainers set up. I can teach him to do all this in the office. And I think that's important. I'm not saying that when he gets out from under that training in a year, which he's still going to train after that, I'm not saying he knows everything. And I'm not saying he's going to know what he's doing on everything. But if he's out on a job, he can FaceTime me and I can say, ooh, Squirt, wait a minute. Yeah, don't undo that screw. Don't undo that, whatever it is. Here's what you want to do. So I think that with modern technology, we can change the rules a little bit. Denver says studying isn't the same as working on the job. I don't disagree, but I think that it can speed up that education, Denver. Right now in Texas, tradesmen can be a restricted tradesman in 2 years, which is 4,000 hours. I truthfully think the right people could do it in a year. To be honest, I passed my plumbing exam after about 2.5 years, my journeyman exam. So I'm just saying. Maria 28 says doctors are forced to do a residency where they get paid below market value, but not lawyers. Yeah, doctors do it longer because they need to be hands-on. I completely get that. But, plumbers are working hands-on too from the day they start. And we're just not really giving them credit for that time. Denver says, I remember when I first tried getting signed on as an apprentice, business owners cared less that I took a pre-apprenticeship program. They said they prefer hands-on over class lectures. I don't disagree. And Matt says, I heard it is a less hours hands-on than the trades. Yeah, it's going to be a lot less hours, but a lot more in the book than the trades. Yeah. And Matt says, open shop in the casinos, 2 months on days, 2 months on swing, and 2 months on graveyard. Then you're free to run. Wow. That's a trip.
Well, yeah.
6 months and you've got it going. Wow. And Matt, it's kind of like that in California too. If I'm a master plumber in California and I've got my C36, I believe it is, and I've got my contracting business, I'm running a legal plumbing company, not like some twins do. Yeah. Sorry. Throwing rocks. But if I'm going to call it responsible person for the company, I can train Squirt. And when I think he's ready and say, hey, you know what? You're good. Go and stop this toilet. Go change out this garbage disposal. I can hand select jobs to send him. Yep. I think it's amazing. You look like you're headed out.
I am. I'm going to go head out, guys. Y'all have a great day today. Don't forget to hit it effing hard. We know I am, and I will be back in here tomorrow.
Perfect.
Have a good
See you then, Squirt. Thank you so much. And adjust number 3, if you would, just on the way out. I think that's the only one that really got turned. There you go. Colton caught the message. Okay, so we are going to talk about, where are we going? Specialty, social media specialty. The growing market for fire-resistant roofing materials. And I like this because, and I'm going to go through this one pretty quick, but with wildfires doing what they're doing in California, remember, I saw a deal on CBS Sunday Morning a couple of weeks ago about a guy that was building a flame-proof house. And I actually went through an interview yesterday about a possible television show, and we're talking about stuff like this. So I love this. Anything that we can look to help houses quit burning, quit catching on fire, quit flooding, different things like that. I think those are probably the 2 biggest catastrophes that happen to homeowners. So I like looking at it. So anyway, it's been fun. And Matt says, haha, the twins. Yeah. Denver says, do you think plumbers should be categorized based on the type of institution they work on? For the electricians, they have 302 to 402. Difference is for industrial. We do that here in Texas, Denver. That tradesman license is for single family and 2-family dwellings only. So after 2 years, you can work on a single family dwelling just like a plumber. After 4 years, you can work on anything if you go back and get your journeyman exam or pass your journeyman exam. So different ways to look at it. But yeah, we've got the different classifications for the different tests too. Endeavor says, I think to reduce time frame for apprenticeship makes the different tickets based on the residential, industrial, and commercial. Brother, I completely agree with you. But especially the growing market, guys, with wildfires and the roofing materials, we literally saw at KBiz or the IBS show a lifetime roof. It's a shingle. It's like, look, this is a lifetime shingle. Guys, that thing was almost probably 3/16 of an inch thick, maybe a quarter of an inch. And I'm like, wow. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at solar panels. I'm looking at all kinds of things. But look, I want to do things different. So that's the reason I do what I do. The benefits of fire resistant roofing: lowers insurance costs for homeowners, which is a no brainer. More durable against extreme weather and high winds, and now required on some fire prone areas. Guys, we've got to start looking at what we can do to make the world a better place. And if it's how do we keep houses from catching on fire? How do we keep houses from flooding? What can we do? I think it's going to be a big deal. Okay, we're talking about porn today. Man, oh man, social media. Social media is not what it used to be. We're talking about weld porn. See, get your minds out of the gutter. Instagram and TikTok, one of the biggest welding influencers, sharing flawless TIG, MIG, and stick welds. Covers pipe welding, automotive welding, and advanced techniques. Guys, if you're a welder, these are the kind of channels you want to watch. If you're a plumber, I heard there's this guy named Roger Wakefield. Check him out. This helps new welders and gets them inspired, helps them improve their craft. Guys, social media has changed the game for all of us. I talk all the time about we're the skilled trades, but most of us, we stop learning from the day we get our license. Most tradespeople get their professional license, and I know I did this. I didn't learn anything for about 10 years. It was literally, I'm a plumber, let me go plumb, let me make my money, give me more money, pay me more money, whatever it takes. We can learn and grow and make more money. If you want to grow, and I'm talking about this because of ways to get inspired and improve your craft. If you want to grow, learn something new. If you want to make more money, learn something new. We're talking about weld porn. Why should welders follow him? Well, it's a great source for welding inspiration, technique breakdowns, and job site motivation. Same stuff we try to do for people each and every day. So I think this is neat. I love that this is what we're talking about today. Learn it and get better at it. That's what it's all about. Denver says, I think to reduce time frame for apprenticeship is making different tickets. Okay, we talked about that one. Is steel roofing a huge thing in Texas? Yeah, metal roofs. I love them. I would love to do those. Well, we're looking at doing it on the event center. We're looking at a lot of good things, and I love the new stuff that we're talking about. So to me, it makes it fun, makes it wonderful. We're gonna talk about some questions now and there's a couple of good ones here. And I'm going to go to the first one because it's, what is the best way for a small business to compete against big companies? And to me, this is a good question because this is how I grew my business. When I was a $1 million a year business, two of my biggest competitors were doing about $90 and $80 million a year. And of course, at the time, I thought, I want to grow like that. And it takes a lot of work. But for me to compete, for me to make my phone ring, for me to stay busy, I'm going to tell y'all some things that I had to do. Number one, personalized service. You want to build strong relationships with your clients. Now, when you're first growing a company, what I did, I went out to real estate agents. I talked to them and I wanted to figure out how to help them. Because if a real estate agent lacks me, if I can educate them, and I would go in and teach real estate agents about sewer and water tests and not hydrostatic tests. And I'd tell them why it's not called that. So there's a lot of things that I was doing to really speak up and be vocal. But building relationships with them and letting them know. And I used to tell them, I will take better care of your customers than you do. And a lot of them don't like hearing it, but after I'm done, they figure out I'm being honest. Leverage social media, showcase your work, customer testimonials, behind the scenes content. We do all of it. And if you're not doing things like that, you should be. I talked earlier about speaking at Tradewinds last Saturday. I think out of about 30 different companies there, only 2 or 3 were doing social media. Guys, start doing social media. Get on it. Even if it's just one of the best comments that I got at KBiz, this young Hispanic guy comes up and says, I want you to know what you talk about works. I said, what do you mean? He says, Roger, he said, we started making videos because we started watching you and listening to you. And at church, just recently, a lady came up to his wife and said, I was watching social media and your husband is a plumber. I need to talk to him. I have a problem. Guys, that's how you make your phone ring. And at the end of the day, that's what we need to do. Another thing I did is find a niche. I decided that we were going to specialize in slab leaks, leak detection, and whole house water filtration. Slab leaks and leak detection, I found the very best equipment, Leak Pro, and we fell in love with it, and we've been using it and pushing it ever since then. The other niche was whole house water filtration systems. If you and your company are not selling Halo water systems, I think you're crazy, because it's easy to come in and test water. It's easy to show people what's in their water. I recommend going over to Halo Water Systems right now. Click on the link that says what's in your water and just put your zip code in, put your zip code in, and it will give you a report. And this is a third-party report. It'll give you a report telling you what that water from the municipality is being tested at. It'll tell you what's in the water, everything from what carcinogenic chemicals, how many parts per million, how many parts per million of fecal matter. Yeah, it's in the water. They're only allowed so much, but some of them have more. So be careful. And then the other thing is offering financing. And if your company, and guys, I still know companies that are not using credit cards. They're like, no, if it can't pay cash, we don't want them. Man, I feel for you. You're losing a lot of business. So offer financing. Then when you go in and sell something expensive like a water heater, they say most people don't have enough cash in the bank to write a check, or enough money in the bank to write a check for $2,500. How do you expect them to pay for a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 water heater? It's tough. So a great way to do this is say, hey, would you like to use your money today or ours? Guys, that's a great sales technique. When they're like, what do you mean use your money? Well, we have financing set up. So literally, it's not going to cost you anything today. You can use our money, get your product today. It's not going to cost you anything at all today. And depending on your credit, we can set it up for anywhere from 6 months, no interest, 5 years where you pay a higher interest rate. What would you like to do? Now it's up to them. So I think things like that are amazing. All right, couple of questions to jump, or no, just one. Ask, as a small business owner, how many years do you think it could take to get really noticed? Well, Denver, we grew our business and we were getting name recognition, and we had real estate agents referring us. We had social media coming in just a couple of years. So it does not take as long as you think. You've just got to get out and do it. Guys, I want to take just a second and say thanks to Leak Pro for sponsoring the video today. Thank them for allowing us to do what we do. And when I say them, it's really Squirt. But we are sponsored by Leak Pro. Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you want to grow your company, if you as a plumber want to grow your skill set to where you can make more money, definitely check out Leak Pro. Go to www.leak-pro.com and look at the complete kit. That is your best way to go. And check it out. And then if you want to get the training on it, there's nothing worse than having good tools and not knowing how to use them. Get the training on it. To learn more about that, call Squirt and talk to him at 1-8888 Leak Pro. Guys, thank y'all for being here today. I appreciate it. Love having y'all here. We'll be back again tomorrow, me and Squirt. I hope you've enjoyed it today. We will see you tomorrow. Remember, whatever you do out there today, do it safe and hit it effing hard. Bye, guys.